Before we get started, I'm gonna have to play my favorite song right now. See me, I no get 30 billion. Although you way, I bless the day I found you. Oh, hey, oh Lord have mercy. Oh, dirty me when you're straight for me singing now. Although you way. No. Hold on. Let me change that part. No. You can't take my money. I take your money. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eves. I am an actress, host, and a model. And today I have decided to talk about a personal topic. So this topic is going to be about long distance relationships. Let's just emphasize on it, long distance relationship. So I'm going to talk about long distance relationship. Relationships are a beautiful thing at the end of the day. Like, nobody ever goes into a relationship thinking negative or thinking that, you know, there's going to be a bad outcome. Everyone goes into a relationship whether it is a situation where the person's 1,000 billion miles away. But at the end of the day, love is love. Lust is also lust. Lust is also lust. So let me get into this. So my long distance relationship started very early. I could say when I was 17, I had a long distance relationship, and this was my first experience with long distance relationship. I thought I was so in love to the point that I'm like, okay, maybe I could do this, you know. I was young and I was just oblivious to the situation. Even though I knew I was going to move, I still decided to be in this relationship. And I was in this relationship with this person for about a year. And then finally I came back to Canada. I was in Ghana, and when I came back, I thought we could continue. But what I realized is as soon as I landed at Pearson Airport, which is the Toronto airport, I realized the hell with it, okay? The hell with it. Not in a rude way. The funny thing is that it took time before I got this, you know, into this relationship with this guy. And if I valued this relationship, but what I didn't know was it was far and I couldn't keep up with it. I was 17 and I'm like, you know what? This can't work simply because I'm also young and inexperienced, so I feel like the world is there to explore. So that ended there. And then at the age of 23, 22, I got into another long distance relationship. Was it a good decision? Yes. Was it a bad decision? Yes. Was it worth it all? No. Was it going to be worth it? Yes. I'm confused right now. Yes. Okay, so it was the worst relationship ever. Who told me to get into a long distance relationship in the first place? This guy was clearly not ready for this relationship. I was oblivious to this, and that's what you wanted to hear, right? That's what you wanted to hear, right? And you tuned in because you heard this part in the promo video. I'm sorry, but here's the real story as to what happened. I was in this relationship with this person for about 3 years. I started when I went back to Ghana for the first time in a long time, like ever since I came back from being shipped back home because I was being bad. I was a bad kid. I was a troubled child. You should watch my story time. It will explain everything that happened. So what happened was I was in a relationship prior to going into this new relationship back home. So over here I was already in a relationship, but the relationship was not going as well. The guy wasn't someone I could see myself with for forever. So obviously, like, I had to end it. Like, I didn't end it right there, but I kind of had a mess up thing there. Like, I will not lie to you. At that period of time, I was transitioning from a relationship that I wanted to leave. So I met this guy online. We met through Facebook. I'll just give this guy's name Jay, okay? Shout outs to you, Jay. We about to spill tea tonight. I went to school with his cousin, and this was in like 7th grade. So, you know, I think through that he saw my profile. I don't know how he saw my profile, but all I know is that I went to school with his cousin, and then we started talking from Facebook. All he just said was this: hey, beautiful, I like your smile. And that was it. I think that was it. Like, I don't know why I felt like that was such a beautiful message. Never had someone ever message me and said, hey beautiful, you have a nice smile. Usually it's wagwan mommy, how you doing shorty, what's going on shorty, what it is. No, that's not how you approach a woman. So he had a different vibe to him, and so I was automatically like attracted to someone who just complimented me for what features I actually admire about myself. I love my smile, you know. We talked, and let me tell you something about this long distance relationship. We had no clue who we were. We had never seen each other in person, so imagine. The first day, I remember talking to Jay the whole day. Me and Jay started this conversation like around 4 p.m. or whatever, and we talked until the next day, 4 a.m. Automatically, this online messaging was kicking off hard. I'm not the type of person, I still to this day don't believe in like these online sources of dating and finding relationships. Yes, I found a relationship on Facebook. I'm one of them. Yes, I admit it. So I didn't expect to find something. So me and Jay were talking. You would automatically think that, oh, aren't you scared? What if this? And back then, when you were talking to a guy online, let's say on Facebook, people would automatically assume that, bro, like, are you sure this guy is real or he's doing, you know, they have something called sakawa, or boys that do fraud, and they come online and, you know, message you and then try to talk to you and so, and, you know, finesse. But this wasn't the case. Like, Jay was real from the beginning. And I don't know why I felt comfortable with him. That's the first time I ever felt comfortable, because me, I don't talk to nobody. If you go through my inbox, like, be your messages that I don't open, because I don't see the point of opening these messages. Not in a rude way, just that like, I don't do it. I just don't know how to trust people online. So me and Jay spoke, we talked about ourselves. And one thing about Jay, I'll tell you that I liked about Jay was that he asked about reasonable, like he asked about sensible questions. He asked me about future stuff. He asked me about career path. He asked me about my life and like everything that was going on in my life and not pertaining to like sex or whatever. So I felt automatically just comfortable with this guy, and me and Jay kicked it off from then. So I can say me and Jay talked for a solid 2.5 months. Like, I'll tell my friends I met this guy online and I'm really attracted to him. But let me tell you what made me and Jay really click. Them Skype, the Skype, it's Skype, everything Skype. So automatically I seen Jay through Skype. So that's my first time. I think it was on the 3rd day that we decided to Skype each other. And he was so like free and I was so free. Like, the chemistry was real. Like, Jay was like the typical, let's say, Ghana guy I would date. Like, he didn't come off as like someone who, like, you know, had that, I'm not trying to be rude, there's a lot of Ghana guys that are out there that have this aura where it's like they're still like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, it's just like I don't connect with them. I can't relate to them. But Jay knew about everything. He knew about certain things that I was interested in. Like, he had like 10, like, really, we had a really good connection, and he knew so much about like what I loved. And I guess that was entertainment. He liked the things that I liked, and I was like, okay, you know what, this guy is really good. And then finally I was going to Ghana, and this was gonna be my first time meeting Jay in person, and I must say I was nervous. I have never been so nervous in my life. I was so like, for the first time I got butterflies in my stomach. Like, that's how you know I really like this guy. Like, damn. So, you know, I'm like, damn, do I have to meet this guy? I was with my friend, and so I'll call her Jay. Yes, my friend's also named Jay. They're both named JJ. So my friend's named Jay. So I went to Ghana with my friend, my good friend Jay. She's a girl, and we both went together to Ghana because we're like, yo, each year we're going to Ghana. Each year, like, we had told each other that we were going to Ghana for like almost 5 years, and we had not gone to Ghana. So we're like, okay, you know what? I'm like, I met this guy. He's really nice and he's cute, and I've seen him on Skype. He's down to earth. This is going to work. And she's like, okay, cool, Evelyn. You know, I trust you in your judgment. So we fly out. We fly high, we fly low and ballin'. So yes, we reached Ghana Kotoka Airport, and Jay told me, when you land, please call me. So I called Jay on my uncle's phone, you know, and then I'm like, Jay, I have landed. He's like, ho 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 ho. So still gives me shivers to talk about this relationship, long distance relationship. It might be horrible, but let's get into the details. Let me keep on telling the story if it gets horrible. You tell me if you're gonna be in a long distance relationship after this story. So yes, I told you, I'm like, yeah, I've landed, so you know we should meet up. Whether Jay is green, whether Jay is blue, whether Jay is orange in person, all I know is that I only met him through Skype. So that was the only thing I had. I didn't know about Jay's background. I didn't know if Jay was an armed robber. I didn't know if Jay was worked with the FBI. But all I knew is I really like Jay, and at that moment, the reason why I felt safe with him is because one thing is that my cousin in Ghana at that moment, he like knows everybody. Like, when I mean, this guy is like the next FBI. He knows everybody from top to bottom. You can get your information within 1.1 minute because my cousin is like, he knows people on road. So he's like, who's this guy that you know just called? And I'm like, oh, his name is Jay. He's like, who? Let me do my research. He's like, I'm gonna go and do research on this guy. Lo and behold, this guy went to go pull up a whole information. He went to this school, this. I'm like, how did you find that information so quick? He's like, because you're my cousin and I want to protect you. And I'm like, okay, you on another level. He's like, still, I don't care, even though I know, like, even though that I haven't heard anything bad about him, I still want to meet him. The next day was my birthday. So I told Jay, you know, come pick me up from my house. So when Jay came, he came with his friend. Let me give him Zed. His name starts with a Z. So Jay and Zed came to pick me and my friend up. So when Jay came to the house, all I could remember was he came to the front of our gate, and I was so shy. I was shy. Like, I don't know why I was shy, but I was shy. Okay, I'm naturally a shy person, but it doesn't come off like I'm a shy person. But when I'm in love and have butterflies in my belly, fam, I'm shy. So he comes, he's like, oh, hi, and he greets my auntie. One thing about my household is that I live with only boys, okay? So my cousins are all boys. Like, these boys were like ready. They're like, who is this? One even went to go get a bat. I'm like, what? Like, my cousins don't play when it comes to these people. When it comes to the boys, ever since I was 10, all I can remember is that even when I remember when a guy was walking by in Ghana. This is Ghana story, okay? When a guy was walking in Ghana, passing by our house, he gave me a kiss on my cheek. And my cousin, and when I told my cousins that somebody had kissed me on my cheek, they're like, who? What? They went to go get bats and all that, looking for this guy. But unfortunately, we didn't get the guy. When Jay came, he's like, hi. He greeted everyone. And to be honest, everybody, for some reason, liked him. It was just, I guess, his vibe. Like, he had a good spirit. Like, certain people, they have good spirits. So when it comes to long distance relationship, you have to find someone who has a good spirit. So everyone liked him. Jay and Zed took us, me and my friend, out. We had a blast, okay? We had an amazing time. Do I have to say this part? So yeah, so me and Jay connected, and all I can say is the chemistry was real. We kissed all night till morning, and yeah. So yes, me and Jay were like basically in a relationship. We basically, like, I think a few days later, me and him agreed that we would be boyfriend and girlfriend, and yeah. So that did not end there. So here is the part that you all want to hear. So I came to a realization, like, okay, maybe this can't work, because the thing is, when I went to Ghana, I was only gonna stay for 2 months. So I'm like, okay, how's this gonna work? Like, I understand where long distance relationship comes into a problem. So I was in Ghana for 2 months. Me and Jay were, you know, really, really good. We had a good chemistry, but, you know, I'm like, okay, so now that I'm leaving, how is this going to work? I came back to Canada, and 2 months into this relationship, I started to feel a little bit of loneliness. I also started to realize that, like, because I'm not there, it's like you have trust issues with this person, and this person does not, you know, give me anything to feel like he's doing anything. And remember, the only thing that I hated about this whole long distance relationship was the calling card and him calling me. So the only thing I hated was the long distance calling back and forth. Like, imagine the amount of money me and Jay spent on talking on the phone. So it was not a cheap thing. So I'm the type of person that, like, I like to talk to the person. I like to talk a lot when I'm in a relationship. Like, I want to, you know your whereabouts. And women are just naturally just lovey people. Either way, the reason why we didn't do Skype a lot, because remember, Skype, the connection is horrible. It's Ghana. At that time when me and Jay were talking, the connection in Ghana was horrible, so we couldn't talk all the time. So I think the number one thing that made me and Jay find some, let's say, clashing was the calling part. I hated it. The communication is what is number one in any relationship. So if you don't have that continuous communication, that could be a problem. And two, you want to be around the person, you want to love the person. But what I realized with Jay is that he made me feel really good regardless of where I was. Even though he was a million miles away, it still felt like he was close. So me and Jay were in a long distance relationship for 8 months before I went back to Ghana. So for 8 months I was here and he was there, and we were doing the calling and communicating, and it was horrible because he couldn't do it and I couldn't do it, and I couldn't, like, it just became unbearable. So it's like what do we do in this case? So fortunately I went to Ghana for a year, and that's when I got to know Jay more and Jay got to know me more. We had differences. Me and Jay had big time differences. So I think what had happened was that because I only knew Jay through only for a couple of months before we started dating, it was more like we were when we started to be together in Ghana, then we started to realize, okay, maybe we're different. We're just different people. We will be good as friends. But all I can remember is that when I stayed with him for a few months, yes, I went to stay with him. I did. Will I do that again? No. Will I stay with a guy? No. Especially if I'm not married? No. I just really like Jay. That's why I was staying with him and my cousin. So it was not only Jay that I was staying with, by the way. I would stay here and go here, and then So Jay was a wonderful person. He introduced me to his mom. I was staying with Jay and his mother. His mom was amazing. Shout outs to you. Mwah. I love her. I call her Mami Tico because she's so petite and cute, but I love her. Jay's mom, if you see this video, mwah, I love her so much. She was so nice, and so when I was staying with them, it felt so comfortable. Now where the problem started was that I started to be, I don't think we broke up because we didn't break up. I wouldn't even say break up. We just kind of separated, because I don't want to call it breakup. I think breakup is just too much harsh of a word. We separated. Let me just say that. So we separated because I had differences. He had differences. He didn't like certain things about my character. There's some, some people, but the thing is that we're compatible, but I don't think he's a Gemini, I'm a Sagittarius. I don't believe in those horoscopes, but apparently Geminis are weird. They're bipolar, like Kanye West. Sorry, Jay, I had to spill the tea. So imagine, we didn't break up because someone cheated. We broke up because I was just not compromising with what he wanted and what I wanted. So the real relationship problem came from differences. So would I be in a long distance relationship, and how do I work, or how did we make it work at that time? All I remember was that you have to have two people who are willing to sacrifice everything. In terms of companionship, you have to trust the person. I trusted Jay and Jay trusted me, so it was that kind of relationship that we had that made us strong. Because either way, even though we separated years after, what I realized that what me and Jay had was a very good bond. Once again, would I suggest a long distance relationship to anyone, especially if the person's far away from you? I would say go for it, and also be cautious, because I had a fortunate situation where Jay was actually a good person. But I've heard and I've seen relationships that are long distance and the person is a big time cheater. The person does a lot of things that the person it depends on who it is. Not a lot of guys are trustworthy, but I was fortunate to get a good guy, and we are still this. We're still good. We have a that's the one thing I like about my lifestyle. Me and most of my exes are friends. We're not friends we talk every day, no, but we're good. When we see each other, it's a positive vibe. I can hug you, bromance, you know what I mean? Any relationship I've ever been in, I try and be as you know, leave a good mark with that person. And I do believe till this day, like if I want to go back to Ghana and I want to stay, like if I need a place to stay, Jay is one call away. So like I do think that for the women out there and for the men out there who want to go into long distance relationship and they want to see if it's a good thing or not, all I have to say is follow your heart. At the end of the day, you make your decision. But for the worst cases that happen, I'm sorry for you, but you have to do your research, especially if you're going to Ghana. Where I'm from, you have to do your major research on these guys, because first of all, one, they either want money, they want a kid. Okay, so let me get raw here. So the three, like, I'll give you tips why you should be careful when you're gonna be in a long distance relationship. First of all, it could be either, I know people that are in long distance relationships, and I've seen the disaster that happens along with the long distance relationship. One, the person can want only money because they think that you're in abroad and they want to like finesse you for your money and take all your money. Two, they either want to have a baby and get papers and come here. Yes, these guys can be wicked. Three, they want to get married with you and come to, let's say, abroad, and when they come, they'll leave you. I've seen that so many times. And four, they could actually genuinely love you. So I've seen people that have had the bad, where the guy wants to only just come to Canada and just get their papers, and I've seen the good, where the guy actually genuinely loves the person. So with Jay, he didn't even care about abroad. He didn't to this day care. He wanted to come to abroad through school, but he didn't end up coming because he had his own personal things going on. But all I know is that like the ones that I know, especially family and friends who've been in relationships where it's like the guy only wants one thing and one thing only, papers, it can be hectic. So all I'm just saying is that be wise, be cautious. If you're dating someone and you haven't seen the person, please let your friends or let people that you know back home do their research, because they can take advantage of the situation. And if you haven't been to like, let's say, Ghana before, and you are talking to somebody that you genuinely feel like you're connected with this person, please be wise. Make the right decision by going first, seeing this person, and don't fall in love too quickly. Oh my goodness. I've seen someone in my life where they fell in love, and you just can't do that. You have to be wise with these things, because boys will be boys and women will be women. Everybody out here cannot be trusted except God. So be careful. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is my experience with a long distance relationship. If this is your first time tuning in, please don't forget to do 3 things: like, subscribe, and share, and stay safe, okay? Would I ever get into a long distance relationship? I don't know. If some people just want your money, some people just want your papers, some people just want both, and some people just evil. So guys, go onto my YouTube channel and watch the full version of what I gotta tell you. We are about to get real. Eves out.